Before we touch a single setting, I want to show you why this shadow works. Most shadows fail because they don't behave like light, they behave like graphics. This method fixes that by letting the shadow react to distance, softness, and motion automatically. And the best part, it works on any footage, people, objects, or environments. We will start with the exact same setup, and then I will show you the one control that makes it look real. So as you can see right now, we have both clips already on our timeline, our text and our video. We're going to highlight both of them, and we're going to create a new Fusion clip. And from there, we're going to go into the Fusion page. In the Fusion page, what we normally do is we just delete the background and one of the merges. And then we take the media one and select to the other one. If you do not see the text, you can always swap the inputs. If you do see the text, just leave it as it is. We're going to highlight the media in two. As you can see, that is just our text alone. What we're going to do with that selected, we're going to control space and we're going to add a shadow. With the shadow highlighted, we're going to see that there is no shadow showing up right now. So what we need to do is go to the shadow offset and we're going to drop it down. Now you can see that there is actually a shadow behind this. You can use the crosshairs to adjust wherever you want this to end up being. What we're going to do now is we're going to adjust the softness so that you can get a little bit of distortion in there. Right now our shadow color is black, and what we want is we want to add a different color because in real life most everything is not black shadows. So we're going to take our media one and we're going to drag it up to our viewer number one. And the reason we're doing that is because we're going to take the eyedropper and we're going to look for a shadow. It does not work on our clip with the text. We're going to actually go in and we're going to grab this shadow off of the viewer number one, or maybe this shadow here because it looks a little darker. So we're going to grab that shadow and we're going to use that one. If your shadow is a little too dark or it doesn't look quite right, we can lower the alpha down a little bit to make it semi-transparent, and that way it can look a lot better and more realistic. So we're going to drop ours down to about 0.75. So now when you play this back, it looks pretty good as far as this shadow goes, but as you can see that it doesn't look real life because of the simple fact that is the shadow is the exact same as the title. It's like a copy of it but a different color. So what we need to do is we need to change that. So to achieve this, what we're going to do is we're going to change the light position. What the light position will do is you see right now as you're moving this, it does not change the light. The reason being is because the light distance is set to infinite. We need to bring that down a little bit. And as you can see, when you bring that down, it starts to actually make the shadow bigger. And then you can adjust where you want the shadow to end up, either by adjusting the light position X and Y, or you can grab this and move it around to where it is that you want it. And we can always change this a little bit later as the position that you want. So right now it looks pretty good because the simple fact is that it's actually bigger than the title, and in real life that is how it ends up being. Now what we're going to do is we're going to actually make it follow along. So what we're going to do is add a little bit of that secret sauce to make this actually work. What we're going to do is we're going to take the output of the medium one, which is the background, and make a depth map to the shadow itself. So now we have the shadow, and that will now become part of the background. So over in the inspector, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Z map control and change that from alpha to luma. And what that'll do is it will give you more ability for seeing actual movement of the shadows. If you do not think this shadow is proper enough, or contrast enough, we can take our eyedropper and drag it over to a darker shadow. After the fact, it's perfectly fine. We're going to actually make this a little bit darker by adjusting the softness. We're going to bring down the alpha a little bit to make it more transparent. Our minimum depth map will take the darker colors. The deeper the object, the darker the color. The lighter the object, the shallower the color. So we're going to drop that down a little bit. And now as you see, when you actually drag this over, you can see that you're getting a lot of distortion in the shadow because of that. So now when you play this back, you will see that it's actually moving with the surface a little bit. If you do not want to make the ocean life with the image, just go over to the output and change shadow only. And then you can change the shadow position anywhere that you choose to get it out of the picture or the moving object or whatever. And you can change that for anything. As you can see, as it's moving across the ocean floor, it's actually bending and reflecting the light, and the shadow is changing. So this is how you do it. Anytime that you have a moving object, it's going to follow that moving object, and that is a real life shadow effect. We hope you enjoyed this and got some use out of it, and if you would, please comment below on how you plan to use it, and hope you have a good day. Bye.